And welcome back on, it'll do it for sure. Welcome back on this Tuesday morning. Let's quickly go over the forecast. Not a lot to talk about. Much of what you saw yesterday, you'll see again today. 0% chance of rain, 72 degrees already. High temperatures around 88, so nice and cool day for many of you. But tomorrow we break that 90 again, 91 for that high, full sunshine. The rest of the week looking like no rain until possibly Saturday's the big day. We're at about 40% chance so far. Carried on into Sunday.
Saturday's the birthday of a famous morning show host in Athens, Alabama.
You celebrate the whole month.
Thank you. Yeah. If I can live that long without getting hurt
Knock
again.
on wood.
Hey, have you seen that picture that's gone viral over that drunk bride at Taco Bell? A million views. Got a shot of her. The wedding was right next door, and there she is ordering walks up in her wedding dress, just gets married and goes next door and orders Taco Bell.
She didn't eat all day, so then when the alcohol came out, she needed to get some food in her quick.
Had to get some food in there. Now, you handle DUIs too.
Right.
You handle, what don't you handle?
Criminal-wise?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a criminal. I mean, any criminal offense will handle violations, speeding, some of the smaller stuff like, tents too dark on your window or whatnot is really not
Can you get arrested for that in Athens, Alabama?
You can get a citation for it. They're not going to take you in.
Unless you're obnoxious.
Well, yeah.
Do they measure it with that little tent meter?
They have a thing that just fits on the window and reads it. Was it 32 millimeters, I think, is the limit. Whatever 32 millimeters.
Do they do a lot of that?
I don't see many of them. Usually it's going to be something in companion, with a no tent. They'll get pulled over for a no tent, and then it'll turn into a DUI or drug arrest or something.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what happened to Auburn's quarterback.
Right. Yeah,
but
picking on him.
over in Georgia, and you tell me if I'm wrong on it, in Georgia, he got a citation for having for an ounce of marijuana. Mm-hmm. I understand from my state trooper buddy, Mike Kessler, I'm the arm wrestling champion when he comes in with arm wrestling. He says if you get caught with one seed of pot in your vehicle, you can be arrested.
That's right. For the misdemeanor version, for the misdemeanor version, the amount doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it is marijuana, even just a shred of a leaf or whatever. If they can prove that it's marijuana and you're in violation,
is that a misdemeanor?
It's a misdemeanor the first time you get caught.
You can't be, but you'll be arrested, right?
Right. Yeah. You'll be taken in, and you'll have to make a bond, be given a court date, have to hire an attorney, and all that good stuff. That's if it's for personal use. Then it's
kind of hard to sell a seed. I mean, how many ways you going to split that up?
Then you can have, if you have it for other than personal use, that's going to be a felony. Or if you have it for personal use and have already been convicted of it once before, that's going to be a felony.
Oh, okay.
And it gets, exponentially more expensive at that point.
A lot more trouble to get them out of.
So usually, though, when they stop somebody for something like that, like a window, there's other problems possibly going to evolve from that.
Right.
And it's your job to defend those people.
That's right. And the officers, we have a lot of respect for them. And they have a job to do. They have rules to follow, if you will. Most of them do a great job. And it's our job to sort of double check them. I know it's got to be stressful having somebody look over your shoulder every minute and checking your job, but that's essentially what defense attorneys do, is make sure the system's working properly. And when it doesn't, they call them out on it.
In the world today, with everything that you hear, I guess that is a tougher job for us.
So basically, let me go to the, yesterday they had the funeral in St. Louis for the kid that was shot in Ferguson 2 weeks ago. He strong-armed robbery, those cigars on there. What kind of charge is that?
In the state of Alabama, there's not really a statute that says strong-arm robbery. It's usually going to be the armed robbery or first degree. You have a first, second, and third. And the first degree is a Class A felony, which is the same as murder.
Really?
Yeah, the only grade crimes that are higher than that would be a capital offense that would carry the death penalty. And then what we refer to robbery in the second degree is where there may not be a weapon, but there's an injury involved. And then you have a third degree robbery, which is robbery with a buddy, using intimidation and such. You hear about the people sticking their fingers in their pockets or whatnot and acting like they have a firearm, but they really don't, so to speak.
Is that just as bad?
It's still a felony offense, and robbery is one of those aggravated offenses. So if you're convicted of it and you get a sentence to the penitentiary, the Department of Corrections looks at it a little bit differently. For parole purposes. chances are if you go, what they say, go down south. If you go down south on a robbery or an aggravated felony, you're probably going to serve more time than you would had you just been caught with marijuana for other than personal use.
Now, speaking of prisons, do you ever go to Capshaw?
I have a brother that works over there, so I've been over there.
In there or working there?
Yeah. Working there, working. Yeah, then I mean that's the family joke. We always knew he'd wind up behind bars or wind up in the pen. We're just happy he's on the right side. But I've been over there to see one client. I've only had one that's made it to Capshaw. But.
You know, we're the #1 rated TV station.
If they're
at
still
Capshaw.
watching.
Well, we were the only one they could get for a while.
Yeah.
I've got to give a shout out to Joel E. Peppers, my old buddy from high school. If you're still out there,
He gets out soon.
I thought he got out. He's supposed to got out in April.
Oh,
He's been
maybe
out there
he
longer than anybody. But anyway, I mean, he worked on everything out there too, so he was doing a lot. I've taken a tour out there before. It's just like in the movie too.
Since high school.
You know? So when you get a client and they come in and tell you, you meet with them, and now they're out. They're not in jail. They've been arrested.
Right. And we meet.
Or in the county.
Yeah, we meet with parents as well that have a daughter or a son that's maybe in the county jail. Or maybe in the penitentiary looking for some kind of post-conviction relief, and they'll come and hire us, and we'll give them their options and all that.
You always wonder, you better have money saved up, or do they just get it from family members? Just depends.
Because you don't
they're all
finance.
popping
No,
up.
y'all don't finance, do you?
Yeah, we do. I mean, you can pay us a little bit at a time. I mean, we work with the individual, and usually it's a contractual negotiation. If they want to hire us, we will, we'll work it out with them. We have no set schedule as far as you must
Every
pay
case
X
is
amount.
different.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you that. On payment, on fees, is there a certain fee for this arrest or that, or is it all on an individual basis? How do you and Dan work that?
Well, we've decided that when we find two cases that are exactly the same, then we'll start looking at a set fee schedule. But, for instance, if you were arrested for falling off the wagon last week, you're the only Jamie Cooper facing an arrest at that point, right?
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, you fell off the porch. I don't think it's a crime yet, man.
No,
I fell
I
off the
didn't push
wagon
him.
several times.
Yeah. Every case is different, and it's.
So you meet with them, then you determine.
Exactly. Yeah.
You might have to go to
what
trial
it's
a
going
lot
to cost.
Doesn't cost anything for them to come,
Free
come and speak to us.
consultation.
We'll sit down. We'll give you a rough analysis of the case based on what we can get at the moment, and then obviously as the case goes on, we're going to learn a lot more about it, and we'll go from there.
Are they always upfront and honest with the information?
No.
And they really
No!
need to be. They really need to be. It's going to come out.
I have a theory, and I won't tell you why I have it, but it seems.
Why do you have it?
I knew the answer.
Because of my past, but we have a lot of defendants that cooperate with police officers, and then they come to their first court date without an attorney, and they want to cooperate with the prosecutor, and they want to tell the judge, and then a lot of people in the system are hold up, you need to talk to a lawyer before you just jump in and plead guilty. You need to understand what you're facing.
Right, sir.
Then they come to us, and they're not entirely truthful, and I think they're worried
But you're
about.
supposed to be on their side.
Exactly. And I think they're worried about, since he's supposed to be on my side, he's supposed to think highly of me, and I'm going to withhold anything I know. And, that's just from a lack of trust. They think that we're sitting in a position of judgment, and that's not what we're doing.
How important is it for someone like you, a criminal defense attorney, to earn the trust of your client?
It's crucial.
Highly.
The entire relationship between a lawyer and client is based on that trust. We're going to give you candid, honest advice. We're not yes men. We're not babysitters. I'm developing a reputation among my clients as that kind of attorney. But I need to give you candid advice. I need the whole story. And the whole point, there's a trial going on right now, and the whole issue of it is what happened that night. Well, other than the defendant that's on trial and the victim, and if I understand it, his son.
Right.
Everybody else, it's just a matter of what the evidence shows.
So basically, they have to come clean with you. And I guess I can ask this. I'm going to. So if they tell you,
I don't
and you
know if I can answer it.
but, huh?
I don't know if I can answer
But
it.
you don't have to. But I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Yeah.
But if they come in and they're guilty, you still got to defend them.
Right.
They still have a
But
right to a trial.
That's why you got to have tough skin.
Trust.
Well, we'll play a game of semantics. Judges or juries will determine guilt, and until that point, you're innocent.
Okay.
So guilty is a legal term. Whether you did it or not, I think, is what you're referring
Yeah.
to.
Right.
You may not be innocent, but you may not necessarily be guilty, and that's our job, is to sift through
Oh.
and find some. I'm not
maybe-
trying to be a snake in the grass.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
That's what it is.
That's a great answer,
is
though. I
not-
mean,
yeah, it's
everybody's
honest.
innocent until proven guilty. The old logic is. Okay, if you're at a party,
I've heard about those.
yeah, well, say you're at a party and people come, hey, tell me what happened down there the other day, something like that. You really can't say a whole lot.
No, I'm not. I will not
But
comment.
you'd be live at the party.
I won't. Yeah, we can tell some good stories, but
Maybe one party.
You're kind of like
then.
a preacher, I guess. You're not supposed to. What they have to say?
Share
What they come in there
information.
for? You know.
Yeah, but yeah, it goes back to the trust thing, the lawyer-client relationship, and confidentiality. I'm not allowed to speak about a case unless the client gives me permission, and even if they do, I'm pretty reluctant to speak about it. But,
Well, your reputation is important to keep
Reputation, I guess, is
trust.
everything with a criminal defense
Yes.
attorney.
Any attorney should.
yeah, I'm going to say that the reputation sort of comes and goes. Dan's taught me to focus on the job, and the job is the relationship, and I have to have my clients trust me, and whether. And if I do that one case at a time, then the work will come. That's what we believe in.
Whether or not other attorneys like you
Yeah.
doesn't
Right,
matter.
yeah.
Brad, have you got that photo?
It's okay. Interesting, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got a guy, well, somewhat like any of these guys here.
Goodness.
I had another, like, we can't hardly find it this morning. Do you tell people how to come show up for court?
If they'll
That
listen to
last
us.
one we took, Brad.
Yeah, see what we got- yeah, if they'll listen to you. Yeah, like now, see, one guy said he don't, a defense attorney had a guy just like that with all the bumps on his head. Those are surgically implanted, by the way. And he says, I'm afraid my client won't get a free trial. Get a fair trial here.
I would agree with him.
I would
Well,
too.
where are you going to move to where he would if
I
you look
think-
like that?
Yeah, I believe he's stuck. If you can find a jury full of
People that look like him.
similar types.
All right. Find you down at Dan C. Cotton's office there on Jefferson Street. What people need to do if they've got a loved one that's been incarcerated, they need to give you a call at 232-1287. When can you basically see these people, Lucas?
I'll meet with them whenever they can. I mean, I have a court schedule, tight court schedule. I'm in court a lot, but I come in early. I'll stay late. I'll do whatever I have to do. You call